Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. So anyways, let's get to it, you guys. We're gonna start off first of all, time and date, Arizona time. Let's start off with S&P 500. I told you guys that. So we're in a 1 hour candle, right? Sunday 20. Alright, guys. So Friday. Actually, no. Let's start off with Bitcoin. Let's start off with Bitcoin. That's where we left off. That's where the market started, or that's what the market crypto was telling you, giving you early signals how the market was gonna open. Also, I did mention how since the whole Russian and American thing deal didn't go work out, the market most likely gonna start breaking down, especially as they get closer to 3 o'clock, and especially 5 o'clock for Bitcoin, because that's when the day closes. So if by 3 o'clock we're already dropping because of the market and whatnot, then by 5 for sure we're gonna drop even more harder. Also, depending on how it looked throughout the night, we're probably gonna open either go a little bit more higher, or it's gonna be a fake out and we're gonna continue going on down. Just because there's nothing really covering. There's no data really moving the market this week, especially this week. It's just gonna be the leadership's going to the White House today. The European leaders talking to Trump about the Ukraine war, I'm guessing. So either Tuesday to somewhat, either by tonight or tomorrow morning or whatnot. Either he's gonna tweet how he had a talk with the Europeans and how something positive, where the market is gonna either then end up picking up throughout the night or gonna end up breaking up. Because crypto wise, we're everything SPX wise, crypto wise, we're testing crucial support that we could break anytime right now, especially if we get some sort of bad news or nothing really happens from this. Also, we got the Jackson Hole thing going on this whole week, so comments and stuff like that may also affect the market. I think the only data there we have is until Thursday, I believe. Thursday and Friday, or just Thursday. But besides that, everything else is gonna be just Jackson Hole wise and tweets from the president, pretty much, I believe. So if you look at Bitcoin, let's start off from the monthly, because we want to see that's why I don't like that. And then also, if you see Ethereum monthly wise, it just broke. And also, let me see weekly wise, 3 monthly wise, yeah. So here I was pointing to out this during the week how we wanted Ethereum to hold in between the last monthly resistance and the one prior to that, which was this area right here. So staying here was still gonna be very bullish. Once we start getting closer, especially if we close this week way down below here, that's gonna be bad. We wanted the market to close somewhere up higher up here, and if it did close down here, it's to be testing it, because with that bad news that the market is bringing, with the S&P 500, all this bad data, bad news coming out is gonna push the market, even crypto, down to start breaking. And that's why even right now, because we're coming to closing time at 5 in the morning, and if we keep this up, we will end up eventually breaking that monthly support that we're hanging on right now. And if you go closer now to the weekly, you see how, first of all, that was also your second warning, paying attention to this weekly, that this market was above earlier. But I got confused there. So we did end up breaking halfway, but look how bad as the market then opened on Monday just keeps dropping down. It's because of that too. It's because of the bad news that we're getting from the S&P 500. And with that pressure coming on down, you're gonna start getting people are gonna start getting YouTubers. They're gonna start getting this or saying this. And you're gonna start getting notifications from other sources saying, is this it for market? Is this it for Bitcoin? Is this for Ethereum? Have we hit all-time high? Blah, 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 blah. They're buying right now, just like they were buying on the first dip that we had, which was, what was it, Friday or Thursday? What was it? Thursday. So Thursday we started the dip. And as we had these dips right here, whales were buying like crazy. So I'm pretty sure they're still buying this shit. They're gonna take advantage from the shit. They're gonna scare you. Alright, anyways. So let's go now to so we have a 3 candle box right here, and that's good and bad. So first, let's see where the monthly is at. The monthly is currently right there. The monthly support that we're supposed to be on is that one. So if I go to a 12-hour candle and put all my bullshit up, you see this purple line. This purple line indicates that purple resist, that monthly purple, that monthly support that it's trying to break right now. That's what that purple lines mean. This purple line is letting me know, hey, there's a monthly, whether it be support or resistance, depending on where the market's coming from, but there's a monthly right there, so it's gonna be hard to pass. And especially, it's like a jackhammer. It's like if you keep drilling in the same area on concrete, you're eventually gonna break that thick concrete, and you gotta go down below it. And this is the area that's gonna get stuck on right here, or just shoot down below. But I feel it's gradually gonna start breaking it, and then testing it one more time until it goes down. So 12-hour candle, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna box it up. I'm gonna put a line right here to indicate to me that that's where there's the 12-hour candle area right here, even though there's already a daily right underneath it. But just for right now, because I normally don't like having this, it doesn't really matter that I mark the next 12-hour candle support, but it's indicating to me that as the market goes down between these lines, it's gonna slow it down because it's monthly 12-hour candles, 8-hour candles, so it's not gonna shoot down as as fast if it was a daily 4-hour candle line or a 3-hour candle. So what I mean. So anyways, now what we gotta pay attention here is that let me take this shit off. What we gotta pay attention here is that this 12-hour candle is at 5, and that's what I'm saying, that if this is how this market works, especially to me talk about time, especially when it comes with crypto. So the fact that we close at 5 in the morning and we're right at the monthly lets me know that we're eventually gonna end up breaking this, unless by 6:30 in the morning, which when the United States opens, he's gonna tweet something good about the meeting last night, and that's gonna give it that pressure off from falling, even though we've been falling in the last couple of hours. That's what's gonna either do, or we're gonna end up continue with this down pressure, trying to pass this area right here for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, which is 4,190. But to be more accurate, this is the price that you want to break. You don't want to break 4,252, because then you'll be trapped below that, which is this box right here that I'm mentioning. See how this, even my indicator telling you, hey, this is your entry, this is your key point, this is your center area. And it's even indicating to me right here, see? So if we resist the rest of this 12-hour candle right here, we're going to gradually create support here and try to break above, past this 2-hour candle Fibonacci, this 3-hour candle Fibonacci, this 8-hour candle Fibonacci, and still be bullishness. On top of that, there's a weekly resistance right here. That's why you see all this shit. As it goes underneath this, tries to break above, it can, because it's a weekly resistance. It does a fake out and whatnot. So that's what happened tonight, you guys. Either by, what is it? We close a 4-hour candle at 9, and it's 8 o'clock. That's bad. So from 9 to 1, we need to maintain here, or even if by 10:30 we're still here, we need to then recover by 11, and then from 11 to 12. Try to break through this and close here at 1 in the morning, somewhere up here. That way, from 1 to 5, it tries to go do this. Otherwise, if we just stay here, those whole hours that I mentioned, yeah, get prepared to fucking be testing this area right here. Let me go to a 1-hour candle. So yeah, if we're down here by 10 o'clock, 10:30 still, and it's even 11, so from, let's see, we close a 4-hour candle at 9, so half of that will be 10:40. So by 10:45, if by 10:45 to 11:30 we're still here, get prepared for the market to start dropping. If not, if by 10:45 to 11:30 we bounce up in here, then there's gonna be some hope that 12 and 1, and we're gonna be close here at 1, and then from 1 to 5, like I said, we're gonna try to break through this and hit this spot right here. But it all depends on the president's tweet pretty much at this point. And for Bitcoin, let me see what's up with Bitcoin. I was showing the homie, first of all, that we broke this trend line, weekly trend line. That was my first warning on Sunday. And notice how that happened right at 5 o'clock. And by that trend line, I mean, you guys, by that trend line, let me show you. It goes from right here. Oh no, go down here. Starts from right here, and it was going all the way up here. See right here, contact right here, and finally we broke it up there. Now I'm gonna zoom in. And besides that, we have a monthly trend line that we touch right here, and it's right here in the 50. So just something to pay attention to, that we could possibly be touching down somewhere here in the 97th. But we would have to get some crazy economy. You're gonna see the S&P drop crazy, but it has to be some bad news. So like I was saying earlier up here, let me go back to a 1-hour candle. So that blue line that you see was that trend line that it was holding on to this whole time. And it finally broke down right here Sunday at 5 p.m. 13, 14, 15. Actually, no, 5:15. So that's at 3 p.m. Actually, no, 16. So that's at 4. But regardless, I was telling you guys, I was like, hey, pay attention to Sunday, especially towards 3 o'clock, because when we open with the bad news that we got that no deal happened, the market's most likely going to open lower, and you should see Bitcoin dropping. Especially Bitcoin was telling right here. Like this was, anyways. And then you go with the drop, 4 o'clock, and it continues. And then also notice how there's a trend line, downtrend happening right here. It starts from this peak, you stretch it out, it makes contact here. And if it didn't break to that, it's indicating to me that we're gonna go down. And then you see Ethereum testing that monthly. You see Bitcoin rejecting from this 8-hour trend line that I'm gonna show you right now. You see S&P going down. So all these things together, look how they're correlated. Synchronized, I mean. And there's a trend line. There's the 2-hour candle 50 Fibonacci. Let me show you what I mean by that. Right there, 2-hour candle 50 Fibonacci. So I'll mark it down with that since I can't see with all this bullshit that I have. So again, that's gonna be the, and then also it's breaking its monthly. It's breaking its monthly. It's testing its monthly. It's right underneath the monthly. So all this is bad, you guys. Weekly wise. Oh, and also we broke that area. Remember how I mentioned that this was an important area to hold for Bitcoin on the weekend. So anyways, we broke that cushion, which is that bad too. Also, we broke, this is the main foundation for crypto. I mean, it's up here, but this is your, imagine your concrete, the support is this thick, and it runs all the way across here, and it goes up, and it goes all the way around. So that thick concrete of support got drilled on and got finally broken down onto. So your next stop is gonna be right here in this region. Watch, I show you. That's your next support right there, but not really. There's actually support up here, but this indicator is not pointing out to. There's some support here, but besides that, it's not that thick. So if we do drop, we have to really get a bad news to break through all this. So we're most likely gonna, they're paying attention to this. So they're probably gonna save it a little or not really drop it, but slowly try to pick it up with a tweet from the president or something good. Otherwise, we're gonna break this 12-hour candle. Gonna complete, and we're gonna break to this. But again, remember that they're not gonna do this shit all quick. So it's little by little, he's gonna try to save the market this week. He's not gonna let it drop that fast. But just be cautious that we most likely will drop a little bit more throughout the nighttime. Even XRP has a 12-hour candle and it closed at 5 also. So it's either gonna break that support that it's barely hanging on right here, and we're gonna go down to the 270, 280s, 270s. If not, we're gonna get saved in the morning as we're going down by a tweet from the president. The market's gonna recover, which Bitcoin's gonna then follow, and you will then see XRP tries hardest above $3 monthly wise. Yeah, see all of them. Even XRP is telling you, hey, these are crucial. We're about to break. See, so you see how they're all in crucial. These, I know how to say it, but I can see all this shit. I can see the wall. How I say the drawing on the wall, or the wall and the drawing. What the fuck I say bullshit. Also, there's a trend line right here, and it's also getting tested. It goes along with testing that monthly trend line and breaking that down trend line. You see there's a trend right here. One goes like this. It's like a diamond shape. It's little by little tension until it breaks. Or again, if we get saved by Trump in a tweet, you will then see it fucking recover this week, recover above the $3 mark. I haven't done the Fibonacci's with this, have I? Let me see. So there's a daily 50 Fibonacci, and it's breaking it. That's fucking bad. 12-hour candle box. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my box. The outside is gonna be yellow, then it's gonna be purple. That way when I go to the monthly all-time high area. So get ready for drop, traders. Indicators tell me, hey, look, this is your entry, your targets. All right, people. So I'm gonna get off this bitch and hope that a little. Let me see. What's up, bro? How you doing? I'm doing good, bro. W or GWE. Let's go, Flaco. Appreciate it, bro. Wanna play Minecraft? No. Alright, guys. So you guys take care. Have a good night. I'll update you or try to update you somewhere tonight, or if not, it have to be till after work tomorrow.